Hello, so this video is going to be a bit of a recap of my last Hearts of Iron 3 series. 36 episodes long, and we were defeated by Siam in the end. Well, not really, but Siam managed to wipe out my SS Corps. And by that point we were 2 years over time, and I was really kind of a bit over it. Didn't want to rebuild up my SS and keep going. So what I've done here is I'm just going to put a bit of a slideshow through all my opening title screens. So you can see we're currently up to episode 4, kind of the golden days of our attempts to puppet the world. So we've got a number of flags already, and we just added, Belgium, Luxembourg and Spain to it in episode 5. Then episode 6 carried on a little bit better, got Switzerland there, and not Portugal yet. But episode 6 was when we invaded Italy. That was kind of good for us. We got a powerful ally. The only problem with it was that we had to destroy their army in the process. So they were actually just not very good for a while. You see, episode 8, I decided to make my flag bigger just to make sure everyone knows that Germany was the one in charge. As well as adding a bunch of Balkan allies, and there's my little Scandinavian adventure, adding Sweden and Denmark, and also Greece at some point. That's right, I used my puppet sister in them, and there's Norway. And here's episode 10, where things went poorly for me. Basically, in the process of invading the United Kingdom, the Soviet Union attacks me in the back. Well, they don't really attack me, they attack Poland, and we fight in Poland for a long time. I suppose 25 episodes, to be honest. But I managed to get Ireland onto my side. Not that they were any use, because they never had any transport ships and just had this massive army sitting in the British Isles doing nothing. Well, me and my allies were bleeding white on the Eastern Front. The UK was also completely occupied at this point, but I could not force a surrender yet. And you see, not a lot's going to change for the next few title screens, because, I was just busy fighting the Soviet Union. Dropped the E off counteroffensive there. I didn't realise that, essentially the E got bumped onto the third line, which you can't see because it's off the bottom of the screen, but whatever. Stalemate. That's about the correct word for it. We were basically just fighting across central Poland and occasionally gaining a bit, usually being driven back a bit. And then Romania decided to change things up and invade Romania. Unfortunately, I forgot to bring fuel for my tanks. So that invasion went horribly. Did well in the end. You see Romanian flag added there upside Germany. And, well, from that we managed to push the Soviets back a little bit. Didn't really change much though. As you see here, we're going forward slowly, and it kind of reversed itself pretty quickly. It was just, we had a bit of an opportunity to gain some ground there while the Soviets were readjusting their front lines. But the wider front line actually did help us. We were able to get a few encirclements off, wear down the Soviets a bit more, and we push it back into central Poland. And you also see Portugal's finally managed to join us. I can't actually remember. No, it was my spies again. I managed to get the national unity low enough to get them on my side. And then a bit of Middle Eastern adventure, as well as the United Kingdom joining me. I got Israel, Palestine, Jordan, and Egypt. And that was also when we did our massive push through, broke the Soviet Union, only lasted for one episode because we captured Stalingrad. They got a lot of manpower, and then we were basically broken. So you see here we're going back from Stalingrad to the Sea of Azov, where we have gained another ally. I thought we should actually get Yemen and Oman at the same time. No, there's Oman and Saudi Arabia. They came one episode later. Back from, forward slightly from the Sea of Azov to Rostov, but basically the same area. Stalino, still basically the same area. We've been driven back a lot further in the north though, but in the Ukraine, we were trying, but we were being driven back. And collapsed, that was the word for it. My front basically, we ran all the way back to Romania. Not quite at that point, but had a bit of fight around Kherson, and then the Crimean Peninsula in general, before that got cut off, and I thought that was basically it, all over for us in the, German and its puppets. Unfortunately, I kind of managed to turn it around a bit. Basically, I was completely shattered. So was the Soviet Union. So it wasn't all bad. Did manage to kind of slowly start turning it around. And here's Kharkov Kursk. That's really where we started breaking. I was just getting constant encirclements, just small ones, but hitting closer and closer to Moscow. And then episode 34, we finally managed to defeat the Soviet Union. And then episode 35, come on, conquered all of Europe. And then, of course, the last episode, I finished off the Soviet Union, and then lost to Siam, because that's how we do things. So I've actually had a lot of fun playing this game. I got a bit over it at the end. It's just, once you've conquered the Soviet Union and the United Kingdom, the next little bit was just not going to be that much fun. It was going to be, take over Siam and then China, or the Chinas. And at that point, I had the naval strength. I was already invading the Dutch East Indies. South Africa would have fallen sooner or later, as would Ethiopia. Actually, did Ethiopia surrender in the end? I think they did. And then I don't think Japan or Canada or the United States or Brazil would have really stopped me. And by that point, I usually give up at the game at that point. Once you've taken out two of the major powers, you've pretty well established as the dominant world power. And we were 2 years past the usual game end date, so well over time to stop playing. I was thinking after the series that I would do a short game in the World War I mod of Hearts of Iron 3, but I kind of don't think I've got enough time now until Hearts of Iron 4 comes out. It's just under a month, and at the rate I've been releasing videos, that would probably get me up to about the start of the First World War. So I think I'm probably just going to skip it and stick with doing World of Warships for the moment. Also because I expect when Hearts of Iron 4 is released, I'm probably just going to be doing Hearts of Iron 4 videos until I, start playing other games again. So for the next few weeks, we all World of Warships, and then come June the 6th, probably all Hearts of Iron 4. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this series, and I'll see you all in a few weeks for Hearts of Iron 4.